enjoying a lemonade. It was a hot, sunny day. My favorite part about driving along the highway to Montreal is when you reach the Canadian Shield. The Canadian Shield is the name for a large area of exposed bedrock. Over 1 billion years ago, this area was covered in tall mountains called the Grenville Mountains. The mountains were worn down to their current level due to erosion. Erosion caused by wind, water, and glaciers. The drive through this area is absolutely gorgeous and majestic, with tall trees, giant rock faces, and rivers lining the highways. Finally, I arrived in Gatineau. Tall buildings brush against the skyline. In Gatineau, they speak French and English. This is the bed and breakfast where I stayed. It was quaint and welcoming. I took a video because I was so cozy there. Look at the fluffy pillow I found at my bed and breakfast. After a good night's sleep, I decided to explore Gatineau a bit. Let me show you what I discovered. This is the Canadian Museum of History. What a cool-looking building. Here is a different angle. Inside, you will find many interesting exhibits about the people, cultures, and stories that shape Canada. It's definitely worth checking out if you're ever in the area. So many beautiful art pieces and interesting historical facts. This is the view from the back of the building. Wow, how beautiful. After spending some time in the museum, I decided to have some lunch. I found myself at this interesting little diner called Chez Monique. It has such a fun retro look inside. Hi, that's me while waiting for my lunch. was right in the heart of an area called Old Montreal. After getting settled in, it was time to explore my surroundings. Old Montreal is a historic neighborhood within Montreal. The district's foundation spans back to the 17th century. While the area itself is nearly 400 years old, most surviving individual structures were constructed between the 1820s and the early 20th century. In 1964, the Quebec government declared the area a historic district to preserve its New France heritage. The area is known for its cobblestone streets and historic architecture. It has winding, pedestrian-friendly streets lined with 18th and 19th century gray stone buildings that house boutique hotels, galleries, and cafes. It is also home to a vibrant waterfront along the St. Lawrence River, known as the Old Port. After wandering the streets for a bit, I decided to check out one of Montreal's most famous sites, the Notre Dame Basilica. A small chapel was built in this location in 1642. By the early 1800s, Montreal's growing population had outgrown this original church. The parish commissioned architect James O'Donnell to design a new Gothic revival church. Let's have a look. Construction began in 1824 and was completed in 1829. The bell towers were finished over 10 years later. Able to hold up to 10,000 worshippers, it became the largest church in North America. It is currently under restoration. Let's have a look inside. Here's me having a delicious matcha latte. This was my delicious breakfast. An omelette with roasted red peppers, portobello mushrooms, eggplant, red onions, arugula, goat cheese, and balsamic glaze, accompanied by some very yummy garlic mashed potatoes. It was so flavorful. After breakfast, I took a stroll past the Olympic Stadium. It's quite a large structure. Can you find me in this photo? I'm right at the bottom. Here's the stadium from another angle. After that, I went to check out the insectarium. The insectarium has lots of neat displays about insects and how they live. This display is to represent how many insects can see ultraviolet light. I couldn't resist having my picture taken on the glowing flower. This very beautiful insect is called the orchid mantis. Isn't it interesting? This insect is called a yellow flying stick. Have you ever seen a stick bug? I just love these. Have you ever seen one that can fly? So cool. The next area of the insectarium was all about butterflies. I love butterflies. This is me in the butterfly sanctuary. Look at this butterfly. I love the colors on this one. Here is another with a very intricate pattern. Look at the cute red and white spots on this one. This is one of my favorites. How beautiful. Wow, look at this interesting looking one. I love it. Look at how vibrant that green color is. is me in the lilacs. As the day started to wind down, I decided to head back to where I was staying. The streets were alive with people. I loved the energy of everyone out and about, enjoying the evening. I came across a woman making balloon animals. I asked her if she would make me a dog. I love dogs. Of course, she said yes. And I was so happy to take my new balloon friend with me back to my hotel. I had another very restful sleep, and now it would be time to head back to my cubby. But one small stop before I leave Montreal. This cute cafe. Doesn't it look inviting? And look at the ice cream statue outside. I just had to give it a hug. Inside the cafe, they had one of my favorite treats. Dark chocolate. I just had to get some. Do you like dark chocolate? Now it was time to say goodbye. Au revoir, Montreal. Hello, Ontario. After a beautifully scenic ride back home, I arrived at my cubby. Yup, right here, my cozy cubby. I had so